By default, the Excel workbook contains. Excellent choice. 3 worksheets is the right answer. Animated dash are the images that move. Nice selection. GIF is the correct and valid answer. Shortcut key to insert new worksheet is. Strong choice. Shift plus F11 is the right answer. How many columns are there in Ms Excel? Well done. 16384 is the right choice. How to activate the absolute address is. Excellent. Press F4 is a brilliant choice. In an Excel formula, it means subtract. Correct response. Minus sign is the most accurate answer. Dash is another name of spreadsheet. Great job. Worksheet is the accurate answer. A bar graph uses bars to present values. You're right. True is the correct answer. Notepad is an example of word processor. Perfect. False is the correct choice. Borders are used for merging the cells. Well picked. False is the correct answer. How do you make a cell the active cell? Clear logic. Your choice click on the cell is sound and 100% true. Maximize and minimize icons are part of. Good job. Your answer title bar works well here. The numbers in Excel represent the dash. Sharp thinking. Rows is the right choice. The name of a cell is given by the dash. Good thinking. Letter plus number is the right answer. Excel files have a default extension of. Exactly. Tuxux makes sense, and it is right choice. Highlighted cell in the sheet is called. You got it. Your choice active cell is right. Workbook is a collection of worksheets. Correct. Worksheets is the right answer. Absolute cell reference uses which sign? Valid point. Dollar is true. In a worksheet, there are dash columns. 16384 is a solid answer. Round the number 83 to the nearest tens. Right again. 80 is a valid answer. A header is printed in the dash margin. You chose top, and it is correct. Every formula needs to begin with dash. Great thinking. Equal to is the right choice. Each box in the spreadsheet is called. On track. Cell is the correct answer. A, as, bus are the examples of dash. Right choice. Column address is the best answer. Function to find the average in Excel. Smart pick. Average is the correct choice. Spreadsheets consists of dash and dash. Bravo. Rows and tables is the answer. Individual locations on a spreadsheet. Nice work. You chose cell and it is correct. User computer user is also called dash. Smart move. Brainware is an accurate answer. Group of cells that runs horizontally. Solid response. Row is a valid choice. Which is an example of a cell address? Well reasoned. Lord is the correct choice. An individual box which contains data. Exactly. Cell makes sense, and it is right choice. The one which has embedded spreadsheet. Well picked. Google is the correct answer. What is Microsoft PowerPoint used for? Right choice. Create and deliver presentations is the best answer. Shortcut key to go directly to cell 1. Well done. Control plus Home is the right choice. Division in Excel using the symbol. Excellent. Salah is a brilliant choice. Who is known as the father of Internet? Nicely done. Surf came is a solid answer. Coding is categorized into dash, except. Nice selection. Graphic design is the correct and valid answer. Which cooperation developed Ms Excel? Solid response. Microsoft is a valid choice. Google Sheets is free and easy to use. Good job. Your answer true works well here. The first cell in a worksheet is what? Smart pick. A 1 is the correct choice. The number of columns in Ms Excel 2016. Good thinking. 16.3A4 is the right answer. Which is the word processing software? Valid point. Ms Word 2007 is true. The last column name in a worksheet is correct. FD is the right answer. Formula equal to count is excellent choice. 6 is the right answer. Each cell can hold a label or a value. Correct response. True is the most accurate answer. Another name for the flowchart is dash. Smart move. Flow is an accurate answer. This function adds the range of cells. Perfect. Equaltosm is the correct choice. Ms Excel is an example of spreadsheet. Well reasoned. True is the correct choice. The entry bar is also known as on track. Formula bar is the correct answer. A page of Excel file is called a dash. Right again. Worksheet is a valid answer. Computer hardware is also called a dash. You're right. Hardware is the correct answer. What format should I save my work as? Sharp thinking. JPEG is the right choice. What is the extension of spreadsheet? Great job. Excel's is the accurate answer. Father of electronic spreadsheet dash. Strong choice. And Bricklin is the right answer. The function of the exit file is dash. You got it. Your choice and the program is right. Spreadsheet can perform calculations. Nice work. You chose true and it is correct. Every Ms Excel function starts with a. You chose equal to and it is correct. What is the shortcut key for replace? Great thinking. Ctrl plus H is the right choice. After entering data in a cell, press. Bravo. Enter is the answer. Dash is a database management system. Clear logic. Your choice Ms Access is sound and 100% true. Numbers on the side run horizontally. You chose row, and it is correct. Title line in Ms Excel is also called. Well reasoned. Title bar is the correct choice. Spreadsheets are best for doing what? Excellent. Making lists is a brilliant choice. Dash is composed of rows and columns. Good job. Your answer worksheet works well here. Every cell has a unique cell address. Great thinking. Cell address is the right choice. In Excel, rows are identified by this. Excellent choice. Numbers is the right answer. Microsoft Excel is a Dash software. Smart move. Spreadsheet is an accurate answer. What do you call a portable computer? Nice work. You chose computer and it is correct. A formula begins with an equal sign. Valid point. True is true. When is a Ms Excel spreadsheet used? Right again. For collecting information is a valid answer. Table of contents is in the tab Dash. On track. References is the correct answer. To name a cell or range, you use the Bravo. Name box is the answer. Row headings are represented by dash. Great job. Numbers is the accurate answer. You can add border around the cells. Well done. True is the right choice. Space between horizontal grid lines. Right choice. Row is the best answer. What do all calculations start with? Perfect. Equal to is the correct choice. An Excel workbook is a collection of. Exactly. Worksheets and charts make sense, and it is right choice. Formula in Ms Excel starts with dash. Solid response. Equal to is a valid choice. How many columns on Microsoft Excel? Nicely done. 65,536 lines is a solid answer. Ribbon is a collection of dash tabs. You got it. Your choice 8 is right. A spreadsheet is also known as dash. Smart pick. Worksheet is the correct choice. A single page in Excel is called a sharp thinking. Worksheet is the right choice. A column is represented by numbers. You're right. False is the correct answer. Microsoft Excel has a row limit of. Strong choice 108576 is the right answer. Which place shows the cell address? Correct. Name box is the right answer. Google Sheets is a desktop program. Nice selection. False is the correct and valid answer. A file in Ms Excel is called a dash. Correct response. Workbook is the most accurate answer. Press Trell plus Home to go to cell A1. Well picked. True is the correct answer. Table of contents are used for dash. Clear logic. Your choice create an automatic contents is sound and 100% true. What is the formula for equaltosum? Good thinking. Equal to b plus b plus b4 plus square plus duck plus bull is the right answer. The number are used in calculations. Well picked. Values is the correct answer. In Excel, column is denoted by dash. Smart move. Letters is an accurate answer. PowerPoint slides is a dash program. Great job. Presentation is the accurate answer. Combining cells in Excel using dash. Exactly. Merge and center makes sense, and it is right choice. In Excel, rows are labeled as dash. Solid response. 1, 2, 3 at C is a valid choice. Toolbar, merge cell, is on the menu. Correct response. Home is the most accurate answer. Numbers in Excel are known as dash. Good thinking. Values is the right answer. What do you call a Ms Excel file? You chose workbook, and it is correct. Ms Excel is a cloud-based program. Sharp thinking. False is the right choice. Collection of worksheets is called. Great thinking. Workbook is the right choice. The active cell group is mentioned. Perfect. Range cell is the correct choice. Which tab lets you insert clip art? On track. Insert is the correct answer. What do you use to create a chart? Excellent choice. Chart Wizard is the right answer. Numbers in the worksheet represent. Smart pick. Rows is the correct choice. What do the letters EARL stand for? Excellent. Uniform Resource Locator is a brilliant choice. Each Excel file is known as a dash. Strong choice. Workbook is the right answer. Which is not a term used in Excel? Right choice. Document is the best answer. All calculations on spreadsheet is. Bravo. Error-free is the answer. What do Excel formulas start with? Clear logic. Your choice equal to is sound and 100% true. The shortcut key to edit a cell is. Correct. Category is the right answer. Each Excel file can hold many dash. Nice work. You chose sheets, and it is correct. What returns a position of a cell? You're right. Match is the correct answer. Macros are found in which tab dash? Valid point. Formula is true. Pivot table feature introduced by. Good job. Your answer Lotus 123 works well here. 44 dash tab shows backstage view. Well done. File is the right choice. The basic unit of the spreadsheet. Nice selection. Cell is the correct and valid answer. The correct naming of the cell is. Well reasoned. Ash is the correct choice. What symbol is used for addition? Nicely done. Plus is a solid answer. Microsoft Excel is categorized as. Right again. Spreadsheet software is a valid answer. The right formula writing is dash. You got it. Your choice equal to 5663 is right. Who is the developer of Ms Excel? Well picked. Charles Simony is the correct answer. What does a spreadsheet contains? Sharp thinking. All of these is the right choice. In Excel, columns are labeled by. Solid response. Letters is a valid choice. What is meant by spreadsheet dash? Correct response. Number processing program is the most accurate answer.
The last cell is labeled as dash.
Great thinking. XFD 148576 is the right choice.
Click Dash tab to create a chart.
Nice work. You chose Insert, and it is correct.
An Excel file format extension is.
You're right. Cells is the correct answer.
The menu only found on Ms Word is.
Valid point. Mailing is true. Dash is not a competency of IVS.
Well done. Observation and classification is the right choice. Ms Extension PowerPoint is dash. Strong choice. PPTix is the right answer.
Number format to set the date is. Smart move. Date is an accurate answer.
The function of Ms Excel is dash.
Clear logic. Your choice processing numbers is sound and 100% true.
Macros option is allowable under.
Good job.
Your answer tools works well here.
Intersections of rows and column.
Good thinking. Cell is the right answer. Selection of more than one cell.
Right choice. Range is the best answer.
Floating point number data type.
You got it. Your choice numbers is right.
What symbol is used to multiply?
You chose, and it is correct.
Formulae begins with which sign?
Great job. Equal to is the accurate answer.
The other name of x-axis is dash.
Right again. Category axis is a valid answer.
Most commonly used input device.
Exactly. Keyboard makes sense and it is right choice.
A row is represented by letters.
Excellent. False is a brilliant choice.
What combines one or more cells?
On track. Merge is the correct answer.
Vertical axis of a chart is dash.
Excellent choice. Y-axis is the right answer.
Dash is not a function in Excel.
Perfect. Subtract is the correct choice.
Microsoft Word is dash software.
Well reasoned. Application is the correct choice.
The way to save the file is dash.
Nicely done. File save as browse is a solid answer. Cell is the intersection of dash. Smart pick. Row and column is the correct choice. One example of an application is. Bravo, PowerPoint is the answer. Workbook is a collection of dash. Correct. Worksheet is the right answer.
Coding can is also known as dash.
Nice selection. Programming is the correct and valid answer.
Shows content of the active cell.
Right again. Formula bar is a valid answer.
Trell plus S button functioning for.
You're right. Keep files is the correct answer.
Each cell has a different name.
On track. True is the correct answer.
GeoGebra used for dash subject. Smart move. Math is an accurate answer. Excel Sheets is a dash program.
Smart pick. Spreadsheet is the correct choice.
Jamboard is developed by dash.
Perfect. Google is the correct choice. Excel is what type of software? Clear logic. Your choice spreadsheets is sound and 100% true. Every formula starts with what? Well done. Equal to is the right choice. A worksheet contains dash rows.
Exactly. Fun and 48,576 makes sense and it is right choice.
Example of spreadsheet software.
Good thinking. Lotus 123 is the right answer.
Ms Excel is a component of Dash.
Nice selection. Ms Office package is the correct and valid answer.
The extension of Ms Excel file.
Sharp thinking. Boxlasks is the right choice.
Multiple worksheet makes a dash.
Correct response.
Workbook is the most accurate answer. Division symbol in spreadsheet.
Nice work. You chose and it is correct.
Group of contagious cells means.
Excellent choice. Range of cells is the right answer.
What is basic file of Ms Excel?
Great job. Workbook is the accurate answer.
The equal to sqrt function calculates.
Great thinking. Square root is the right choice.
A moving picture is called dash.
Good job. Your answer GIF works well here.
1 terabyte is equal to.
Correct. 124 GB is the right answer.
What kind of software is Excel?
Well picked. Spreadsheet software is the correct answer.
Columns are identified by what?
Strong choice. Letters of the alphabet is the right answer.
Who is the father of computers?
Bravo, Charles Babbage is the answer.
Which symbol means to multiply?
Valid point. Is true.
Which is not the rubric of MemDP?
Nicely done. Regularity is a solid answer.
The spreadsheet can be used by.
Excellent. All the above is a brilliant choice.
The default file name of Excel.
You chose Book 1, and it is correct.
Can you format text with Excel?
Well reasoned. Yes is the correct choice.
An Excel sheet is made of dash.
You got it. Your choice rows and columns is right.
The columns represent the dash.
Solid response. Letters is a valid choice.
The horizontal line on a graph?
Right choice. X-axis is the best answer.
The line is symbolized by dash.
Sharp thinking. Number is the right choice.
The source of the data is dash.
Solid response. Ms Excel is a valid choice.
Writing 3 plus 5 of 6 in Excel is dash.
Perfect. Equal to 3 plus 5, 6 is the correct choice.
What symbol is used to divide?
Great job. K is the accurate answer.
Last column name in Excel 2016.
You chose Tefty, and it is correct.
Spreadsheets have meaning dash.
Great thinking. Ledger is the right choice.
Office 2010 is a successor of.
Well done. Office 2007 is the right choice.
Excel allows you to work with.
On track. Data is the correct answer. Excel sheet can use dash of fonts. Smart Pick 512 is the correct choice. What is Microsoft Office 2010? Right again. Office Suite Package is a valid answer.
Choose Excel extension Excel.
Well reasoned. Excel's is the correct choice. What is the purpose of Excel? Correct. Analyzing data is the right answer.
How to close Ms Excel is dash.
Good job. Your answer file close works well here. The file extension for Excel. Excellent. Xless is a brilliant choice. Filter option is available in. Exactly. Both make sense and it is right choice. Excel file is saved as a dash.
Valid point. Workbook is true.
In Excel, F12 key is used for. Good thinking. Save is the right answer. Formulas in Excel start with. Nicely done. Equal to is a solid answer. Bit is equal to how many byte? Excellent choice. 128 byte is the right answer. Columns go in what direction?
Bravo. Vertical is the answer.
What is name of last column? You got it. Your choice FD is right. No of columns in Excel 2016. Strong choice Scene 384 is the right answer. How long is an FV6 address?
Nice selection. 128 bits is the correct and valid answer.
Examples of website are dash. Well picked. Chrome is the correct answer. A10 is an example of dash. Smart move. Cell range is an accurate answer.
The vertical line on a graph.
Correct response. Y-axis is the most accurate answer. Arrange always dash in shape. Right choice. Rectangle is the best answer. Word Docs is a dash program. Clear logic. Your choice document is sound and 100% true. Microsoft Excel is used for. You're right. All the mentioned is the correct answer.
A vertical line of cells is. Nice work. You chose column and it is correct.
Small input box on the left. Great job. Name box is the accurate answer. Ms Word is software of dash. Correct response. Microsoft is the most accurate answer. Horizontal line of cells is. Valid point. Row is true. A small box that holds data. Excellent choice. Cell is the right answer. The dash is your workspace.
Well reasoned. Desktop is the correct choice.
When we get backstage view. Excellent. By clicking File ribbon is a brilliant choice. What does this symbol do? No. You got it. Your choice divide is right, which is the input device. Nice selection. Keyboard is the correct and valid answer.
Ms Excel is a dash.
On track. Spreadsheet software is the correct answer.
Excel version except dash.
You're right. Ms Excel 2008 is the correct answer.
Letters in Excel represent.
Good thinking.
Columns is the right answer. An active cell is the dash. Bravo. Current cell selected is the answer.
Which of these is a value?
Sharp thinking. 8 is the right choice. Operating system is a dash.
Nicely done. Software is a solid answer. Concatenation?
Perfect. And is the correct choice. Ms Excel was developed by. Nice work. You chose Microsoft and it is correct.
Audio-visual presentation? Right again. Ms. PowerPoint is a valid answer.
What do you call seller 1? Clear logic. Your choice home cell is sound and 100% true. Radio is one of the acts. You chose correct, and it is correct.
In PowerPoint, you create?
Strong choice. Slideshows is the right answer.
By default, the text is
Smart pick. Left aligned is the correct choice. Microsoft Word is a dash.
Smart move. Word processing application is an accurate answer.
What is used to C10 dash? Right choice. Column Sparris 10 is the best answer. Which is not in Ms Word? Exactly. Magic tool makes sense and it is right choice. A cell is identified by.
Well done. Column and row is the right choice.
What does HTML stand for? Solid response. Hypertext markup language is a valid choice.
Ms. Excel stands for dash.
Good job. Your answer Microsoft Excel works well here. What is the sum formula? Great thinking. Equal TOSM is the right choice. Who created Gmail first? Correct. Paul is the right answer. Ms. Word works to be a dash. Well picked. Master document is the correct answer. Where we use in Excel? Good job. Your answer formula works well here. How are rows designated? Nice work. You chose numbers and it is correct. C1 represents a dash. You chose range and it is correct. Number parts of a whole. Right choice. Fraction is the best answer. What does the W do means? Well done. World Wide Web is the right choice. Excel refers to files as? Exactly. Workbooks make sense and it is right choice.
Sum of 15 and 9 is dash.
Smart move. 24 is an accurate answer. Files in Excel known as. Excellent. Workbook is a brilliant choice.
Cuts the selected cells.
Bravo, Ctrl+X is the answer. The squares are called. Clear logic. Your choice cells is sound and 100% true. Full form of email is? You got it. Your choice electronic mail is right. How to save your file? Valid point. Save as is true.
A formula starts with
On track. Equal to is the correct answer. Google Drive function. Nice selection. Save documents online is the correct and valid answer. What is a PowerPoint? Great job. software is the accurate answer.
In Ms Word, you create. You're right. Documents is the correct answer.
Electronic spreadsheet.
Sharp thinking. Ms Excel is the right choice. Who invented the dollu? Solid response. Tim Berners-Lee is a valid choice.
The name box contains. Great thinking. Cell address is the right choice.
It means many media.
Right again. Multimedia is a valid answer. A column is vertical.
Smart pick. True is the correct choice.
Where is RAM located?
Perfect.
Motherboard is the correct choice. RAM is placed on dash. Correct. Motherboard is the right answer.
Spreadsheet is a dash.
Excellent choice. Program is the right answer. In Excel, it means add.
Correct response. Plus sign is the most accurate answer. Internet stands for.
Well picked. International network is the correct answer. What does Ctrl-Z do? Strong choice. Undo is the right answer.
In Excel, you create.
Well reasoned. Spreadsheets is the correct choice.
Full form of ERL is.
Nicely done. Uniform resource locator is a solid answer. A row is horizontal.
Good thinking. True is the right answer.
Ms Excel is in dash. Great job. Electronic spreadsheet is the accurate answer. WO stands for dash. Great thinking. World Wide Web is the right choice. Take away 2 from 10. Right choice. 8 is the best answer. Dash are horizontal. Good job. Your answer rows works well here. Excel allows you to. Clear logic. Your choice work with data is sound and 100% true. A column goes dash. Excellent. Down is a brilliant choice. When a row goes dash. Well picked. Across is the correct answer. Dash are vertical. Sharp thinking. Columns is the right choice. 10 times 5 dash.
On track. 50 is the correct answer.
Modem stands for. Well done. Modulator demodulator is the right choice. What is Ms Excel?
Exactly. Spreadsheet makes sense and it is right choice.
A cell address is.
You chose M8 and it is correct.
Shortcut for cut.
Solid response. Ctrl plus X is a valid choice.
Ms Excel is a DAN.
Valid point. Spreadsheet software is true.
Columns are dash. Perfect. Lettered is the correct choice. Rows in Ms Excel.
Bra 85 Samson 6 is the answer.
Excel is part of. Correct. Microsoft Office is the right answer. Benefits of ECT.
Nice selection. Effectiveness and efficiency is the correct and valid answer.
Cell jar 14 is dash. Correct response. Column J, row 14 is the most accurate answer.
String data type.
You got it. Your choice text is right.
Fraction of 100? You're right. Percentage is the correct answer.
Father of Excel.
Nice work. You chose Charles Simoni, and it is correct. ISP stands for. Nicely done. Internet service provider is a solid answer.
Full of uspies.
Good thinking. Universal serial bus is the right answer.
Answer equal 2 plus 3 33 2.
Smart pick? 9 is the correct choice.
Pixar is a dash.
Excellent choice. Photo editor is the right answer.
Rose a dash.
Right again. Numbered is a valid answer.
Excel is a
smart move. Spreadsheet application is an accurate answer.
Excel file.
Well reasoned. Workbook is the correct choice.
Rames.
Strong choice. Non-volatile is the right answer.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format.
Nice work. You chose contact Narayan Changda on Facebook, and it is correct.